All right. So first of all, everybody, welcome to the Unfranchise business presentation through Market United Kingdom and shop.com. And congratulations for being on. Today, I get to talk about one of my favorite topics, and that's business expanding into the United Kingdom through a large, successful 28-year-old company that has some incredible uniquenesses to this market that you guys are going to absolutely fall in love with and be able to leverage that for not only your own success, but for the success of so many other people that you all may be connected with. So kudos and congratulations for being on. My name is Don Martin. I'm actually the director of the GMTSS, or the Global Meeting Training and Seminar System, for the entire country, across the entire UK, all of the United Kingdom. I'm the director of the National GMTSS, which I'm basically the person who puts together all of the trainings, or oversees all the trainings, both in person when that's possible, but virtually right now, since that's where we have to do it. So that's what my job is. But I am also my primary career is I am an unfranchised owner. I have been for 21 years now. The reason why I decided to help run the meeting system there in the UK was simply because I have a huge passion and a vested interest in the market there, because I have a really successful business growing there through the Market United Kingdom platform, shop.com platform. And I just want to see everybody have the best chance of massive success, and most importantly, give everybody in the UK an opportunity to really create success for themselves through this unfranchised business shop.com model. So I've been 21 years with the company. For it's been 18 and a half years now that this has been my full-time career. I started part-time, just to give you a little background on myself. I started part-time, and within just over 2.5 years, I had matched that exceeded a construction company income that was in the six figures. So that's what it took me, just under 3 years, to get to that six-figure mark with this business. And I did this part-time. When I first started, it was about maybe 8 hours a week. That was it, 8. But over time, I increased it up till I was about maybe, I'd say 12 to 15 hours a week. And that was by the end of that 2.5 year period. But at that point in time, working 12 to 15 hours, I was making as much, and it was a six-figure income, as I was with a construction company that I was putting in 80 hours a week and had 13 employees full-time for me. So at that point in time, I decided that this business I'd fallen in love with it at that point. And I decided that this is all I wanted to do. So I had my exit out of the construction world, and this is all I've done since. And it's been a complete passion project of mine ever since. I've done really well financially. But the number one thing that I love to do is I love to help people grow successful unfranchised businesses. It's what I was born for. And I love doing it. And I love the UK. I love y'all over there because you're so much fun, and you all laugh at my jokes. I think that's probably what my favorite part about the UK is. Y'all laugh at my jokes. Americans sometimes don't get it, but it seems like the British seem to understand my humor even better. Me and my dad, right, Samir? Me and my dad have a similar sense of humor. It's almost like we're British at heart. So we have a lot of fun with you guys, and that's the one thing you'll notice. We have a lot of fun. But today we're going to talk a little seriousness too, because we're going to talk about this unfranchised business. You might be on for a couple different reasons. You might be on because you're looking for an entrepreneurial endeavor for yourself, and that's great. Welcome. You might be just on because you're evaluating something for someone just to see if you might know the right people, and we appreciate that. We thank you for that, because we're not here just to convince people. We want to get the word out about what this great model is that could help a lot of other people, whether it's for you or not. You may not be looking, and that's okay. We appreciate you being on. Or you might not know why you're here. And in that case, it's all good. I'm glad you're here. Let's have some fun for the next 30, 40 minutes, right? And go through the model. But kudos either way, and thank you for being here. So I'm going to go through the model here and give you an idea. And hopefully I don't talk too fast because we're fresh off our international convention. I am excited beyond words. And I'm trying to tame my tongue to be a little slower than I want to be, because I'm so excited about what's going on and what is to come with this model all over the world, particularly across the UK. Because you guys have an opportunity, just so you know, to be a pioneering, spearheading movement here. We've been to the UK for, 6, 7 or whatever years so far, but a lot of that, the first large piece of that was building a framework and a foundation. But now it's all established, and now it's time to go. And I will tell you, in the majority of all the markets that we go into, we become the number one company or amongst the top companies in all the industries of all the countries, I'm sorry, that we go into when it comes down to working from home. And we've done it in so many different markets. And I know the UK is the next one because of how well we can fix some of the challenges that are out there for people that want to work from home. And you're going to see how that works as we go through this model today. So it's called the Unfranchised Business through Market United Kingdom and Shop.com. And let's get started. Just a little background. You're going to hear, the way I explain this today is in 4 parts. And this is how I explain this, Sharon and Nick and Gina and all. This is how I explain this to my people when I explain it to them the first time. Okay, this isn't a second look presentation. This is the first look, and we'll change each week. Some will be second, but this is the one I use for a first look to give everybody a full understanding about what we do. So 4 parts to this presentation. The first thing is a background of the company, right, and the credibility. That's number 1. Number 2, I'm going to tell you about the ways that we earn from an entrepreneurial aspect, and also what the benefit to consumers are. That's number 2. Number 3, I'm going to show you what we're not, because a lot of people have preconceived notions in their mind. I can tell Gina does because she's like this here hanging out, right, Gina? So I can always tell when people are like this, they have some preconceived notions, you know? So, but I get it. I'm just teasing. You can listen, I understand sometimes you just want to relax, right? But I've been there, I know. But but I want to show you what we're not, because a lot of people have preconceived notions because of things they came across in their life. And I'm going to show you what we're not. And then I'm going to show you how the numbers come together and how we operate and what makes us different. I will tell you it normally takes 2 to 3 times to see this for all the parts to come together. Not because it's complicated, but simply because it's ridiculously different than anything else out there. Completely different. And it's so different that you have to kind of see it a few times for it all to come together and for you to wrap your brain around it. So I encourage you when you get done today to get back with the person who invited you here within 24 hours. And have them just run through the numbers one more time and to see it again, just so you can really wrap your brain around it. But nonetheless, first part is a background and credibility of the company. So the company globally, the company's name is Market America Worldwide, okay? Market UK is one of the 8 entities within the Market America framework. So Market America Worldwide is a 28-year-old product brokerage and internet marketing company. And we'll explain what those 2 things mean as we go forward. Some of the credibility of the company is this. You know, we have a company that we have an organization in America called the Better Business Bureau. The Better Business Bureau is the largest consumer protection agency in America, and they are a non-biased organization that protects consumers, and they do viable information. They find real credible information from non-credible information. They have us with the highest rating you can get as a company at A+. An A+ Better Business Bureau rating, the best rating you can have. And on top of that, not only do we have the best rating from that organization, we also won a Torch Award in both 2013 and also 2018 for Marketplace Ethics. It's a Trust, Performance, and Integrity Award for Marketplace Ethics, and we do things right even when people aren't looking. And that is why it's such a powerful model, and why we've been successful for 28 straight years. As of about a year ago, there's an updated slide. We did 6.8 billion pounds in total business, by the way, as a company. So this is not a small organization. But of that, over 3.5 billion of those pounds have been paid back to unfranchised owners just like you and I. That's well in excess of 50% of every dollar generated in business by the company. That's earned by real people in the field that are building unfranchises for themselves, the same opportunity that each and every one of you have to participate in moving forward. We have thousands of unfranchised owners that earn anywhere from 230 pounds to 2,040 pounds and beyond. This says 170, but there's been adjustment made. This is one slide, hasn't been updated. I got to update that one, Samir. We have more than 500 unfranchised owners have earned over $1 million or 660,000 pounds. We call it the $1 Million Club in any market, right? In the UK, that just converts to about 660,000 pounds. And we're adding new $1 Million Club members every single month. Now, So that's a little more background. Again, I'm going to tell you a little bit about our products and services now, and I'm going to give you a little bit about consumer benefits. That's the background of the company. It's credible, it's strong, it's been a dynamic model and a great opportunity for people to be participating in. We have two categories of products and services I'm going to share with you really, really quickly. The first category is exclusive products and services, and we also have affiliate, okay? So exclusive products and services is the first category. We are a broker of products. We do not manufacture or make anything. What makes that unique is how many of you have heard about companies, right, that say, we make the best and here's why. Isn't that what every company says? Every company says, we make the best and here's why. We know that that happens. So instead of us being like those companies, we're a broker. We have access to hundreds of manufacturers, and the only product and services that we bring through our company in the marketplace are the best products in their category or class, bar none. So that means we do the job for the consumers and the unfranchised owners to find the best manufacturers and bring them to the market, and we will not settle for second best. Sharon can explain it to you. She's a health professional in the U.S. and you wouldn't attract people that are health professionals, doctors, fitness professionals, estheticians, high-end skincare and makeup artists if our product wasn't the best in class. And that's what we can assure you as being a broker. If it's not the best, it doesn't make it into our world. We find the best, and that's what we bring from a multitude of different manufacturers. So that's the first category, exclusive products. The second category, we have our affiliates. Stores like Sainsbury, stores like John Lewis, stores like Topshop, all kinds of stores. We also have affiliates with stores like that, hundreds of them. And when you or anybody you know goes through your business and purchases from them, there's earning from them as well. We get paid to buy and get consumers to buy from them as well. I'll explain to you how that's fueled in our marketplace, but I just want to give you an example of the categories of products and services that we offer to end consumers. Exclusive products, but also these affiliate stores, and we earn when people buy from any of them. So what makes that unique for us is this. That gives us access to multi-billion-pound industries. We don't rely solely on the sale of any one product or service. How many of you have seen companies come and go because they had a good product for a while, but then all of a sudden somebody comes out with a better one, and because they were stuck to that product, they could have been good for a while, but then all of a sudden somebody comes out that's better. Those companies go away because they can't compete anymore. That's one of the problems in this industry. It happens all the time. We're a broker, so we don't rely on the sale of any one product or service, and we're in multi-billion-dollar markets, so we can simply move with the marketplace. We also identify all the latest market-driven products, and since we're not the manufacturer, we eliminate all the burden of manufacturing, so we're always on the front end and cutting edge of the best products coming into the market. And when something goes out of trend, we can simply move on to the better product, and guess what? It doesn't affect our business in the slightest. We just keep on going. So from a marketing position, you can't be in a better spot than what we are. So that's really, really neat. Okay. Some of our exclusive products fall in these categories. Now, here's the thing. I don't have time today to go through all of the product. I'm going to give you a flavor for some of them, but you need to get back with the person who invited you here and get us a bunch of information about some of the products that we offer across the UK. Okay. But we have things like health and nutrition, weight management, personal care, age management, products for doctors, all types of things. Now, some of these categories are available in certain markets and not others, but it gives you an idea of the products and services that we offer around the world that are available through this marketplace, right? So that's an important thing moving forward, and that we have internet services and home and garden products and services and personal care and skincare and cosmetics and weight loss and wellness, all these categories of products that are unique and available in the marketplace. And I'll share with you some of the uniquenesses to the products here in a few moments. Maybe I'll ask, since Sharon's on, maybe if Sharon, wouldn't mind saying something about our isotonics in a few minutes, I would love that, okay? That'd be great, thank you. So we'll talk about that. And then here's some of our partner affiliate stores, guys. These are some of the stores that you have, and there's way more than this, but just to give you an idea of all the companies, this gives you credibility to the company. These are all contracted affiliates of ours, meaning if this was not a valid, viable model, not one of these companies would be working with us. I think that's a really good point to make here. We have Argos and Debenhams and Next and Iceland, you name it, M&S, Topshop. all these stores, even Gap. We all know in America what Gap is. A lot of these we don't know. It was so funny. They were teasing me the other day because I called B&Q B&O. And they were like, what are you talking about? B&O? B-O? Body odor? What? B&Q. B&Q. That's like our Home Depot in America, by the way, for you, those of you on here that are American. But I called it B&O. They're like, what is wrong with you? But it's all good. You know, living the dream over here, right? Right, Sam? It's like what we do. So, but I called it B&O. They're like, no, what's B&O? Oh, B&Q. Oh, yeah, like your home improvement place. So all kinds of stores, and always stuff going, and we earn whenever we or any of our customers buy from these stores as well. And I'll share with you how that works. Okay, so that's a high-level overview of the background. Now, the consumer benefit, just so you know, the consumer benefit is this. So I give you a good background of the company, and the consumer benefit to work to be a consumer through us is they get access to buy from any of our exclusive products, which they can't get anywhere else out in the world but through us. We have the entire global distribution exclusively for all those exclusives, which we'll talk to you about more later. But they also have an opportunity to go through our site. Each one of us owns our own shop, uk.shop.com/whatever site. It's your own uk.shop.com site. And when they go through that site and they make a purchase from any of these vendors, right, these vendors will pay you a commission, but they earn what are called shop tracker points. Customers get discount potential and good deals to buy from these places, but since they go through you, they earn shop tracker points, and shop tracker points accumulate towards money back, earnings, all right, cash back or whatever you want to call it, when people buy through these stores. So that's the consumer benefit. They get access to products they can't get anywhere else out there, but they also earn money through the shop tracker point program that tracks them and gives them financial, rewards for the amount of business that they do collectively through us. So there's a good incentive for customers to buy through us because of the shop tracker program. All right, so that's a background high level. That's part one. Part two, how we earn. So now I'm going to talk to you guys about the entrepreneurial benefit here. There's three ways we earn as an unfranchised owner through Market UK and shop.com. The first way we earn is every single exclusive product we have has a retail profit that's assigned to it. It averages 20 to 40%, right? Depends on the product or service, 20 to 40%. This says 30 to 50, but with VAT, it's more averages right around 20 to 40%. Right, Sam, about that? Right in that range, right? So what happens here is every single product and service that we offer has three numbers attached to it. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about, just to give you an idea. This is one of our number one sellers in the world. This is OPC3. Now, I normally recommend people to buy this in the Daily Essentials packet that has OPC, multivitamin, B complex, and calcium, because it's a really good Daily Essentials bundle of all the four top products that people should have, especially in the world that we're in right now to keep your body at optimal health, right? But this is our number one seller in the world. It's called OPC3. It's an antioxidant similar to vitamin C and vitamin E, only more potent. And this product right here is a 90-day supply, right? Now, this product, when it's sold, there's about a 30% or so instant retail profit when it's sold. So, Sam, do you know the wholesale and retail of this? Or
42.25 wholesale.
Yep.
And then £60 retail.
Okay, so £42 essentially wholesale price, or unfranchised owner cost, we like to call it, is what it costs us. It retails for £60, right? So that's £18 profit that goes in your pocket every time somebody purchases one of these. Everybody get that? So that's this first way. We're an instant retail profit every time we sell a product. That's the first way, all right? Now, here's what's cool about this. When we sell this product, you're the only one who makes that retail profit. Nobody else gets it. That's all yours. This is not one of those things where there's £18 profit and it has to be divided up in percentages and levels through a bunch of different people. We're not one of those. Does that make sense, everybody here? That's a very important point, okay? We're not one of those things. All right, but that's the first way. And you make all that, whether you're in your first day, week, month, 10 years, 20 years, you make the same amount. You get all that retail profit that's rolled into the product. That's the first thing that makes us different, by the way. That's the retail profit. Now, and every time you sell it, you make that for life. And they can go to your site, the company fulfills it, ships it right to them. You never see it, but you still make that instant retail profit every time you make a sale from the product. That's number one. Not split with anybody. Now, number two is what we call volume-based commissions. Volume-based commissions, right, is this. What a lot of people aren't aware is every single person knows that there's a product, whenever something is sold in the marketplace, there's retail profit on it. I mean, we all know that every store has to make money to be in business, right? So when you buy something, there's going to be a retail profit on it. But what most people aren't aware of is a second margin that's involved in every product because you never had access to it before. And that second margin is a margin that's rolled into the wholesale price of the product. See, within the wholesale price of the product, or in our case, we call it unfranchised cost, there's a second margin, and that's called the marketing and distribution margins, right? What the companies have rolled into this to spend typically on advertisement and marketing and distribution. That's a second margin involved in the product and the wholesale price of the product that normally would go towards that aspect. But for us, since we're the entire marketing and distribution and advertisement arm for these companies, they don't have to spend that money on advertisement. They bring that and pay that to us in the second way we earn commissions, which is called volume-based commissions. I'm going to explain to you how this works in a second. But the way this works is these marketing and distribution margins that would have been spent through advertisement now pays us a second stream of income in the volume-based commissions model. I'll show you how that works. And it is completely a game changer because you make money off not only volume that you generate off of what you sell. Again, this is separate from the retail profit, but you also get those volume for the entire team that you work with. They all generate. Again, no percentages and levels. I'll share with you how that works here in a second, but it's completely different. And you need this to be explained, but just give you a high level. That's the second way to make money. Now, the third way, by the way, this product costs us 42 points. We get 30, is it 36 BV?
No, 44.
44 BV.
We
So
get more BV than it costs us to buy it.
So 42 pounds wholesale price, 44 BV for the commission. Do you get that, guys? So that's over 100% value of BV per pound, okay? 44 BV. Listen, man, I'm learning something too. That's why we have Samir on here, to make sure I don't say the wrong things, you know? I got to make sure I call them quid too instead of bucks. You know, in America we call them, 10 bucks. I got to call it 10 quid in the UK. So anyway,
You're doing good.
I'm getting there. Thanks, Samir. You always keep me in line. So, but that's how that worked, and really, really good. So that's that. That's the points that are accumulating not only for what you do, but what your entire team collectively does towards overrides. And I'll show you how that turns into income for you. Now, the third way we earn, so that's first way is instant retail. Second way is volume-based commissions off what you and your team sells, right? Not just what you sell, like retail profit, like the first one, but the second one is you and your team. But the third one is, don't forget about this. What if I want to buy this for myself? See, I will tell you, every single unfranchised owner that I know takes this product. Now, when I buy this from myself, I don't have to pay retail. I buy this at wholesale, so I'm getting it at 42 pounds. Does that make sense? But here's the cool part. I'm saving that 20, 30, 40, 50% off when I buy it for myself. But here's my favorite part about this. I'm getting a great product. I'm saving money because I'm getting it at wholesale or on franchise cost instead of retail. But on top of that, even though I bought it from myself, guess what I still get paid? Those marketing points, those business volume. So now when me and my entire team buys product from ourselves, we're getting it at a discount, so we're saving money, but we're still getting those BV points, those volume credits, those marketing margin credits that we now earn commissions off of product that we're consuming for ourselves. And that's a game changer. So that's a third way that we make money. Paula sees it now. I just saw this light bulb go off on the top of Paula's head. Yep, you got it, Paula. So that's the third way we make money. Now I'm going to show you how that all comes together, but I just want to give you a high level on how that works, okay? And again, if you guys have any questions, here's what I ask you to do. Write them down. Most likely they'll be answered in the next slide or two. And if they're not, you can ask them at the end, okay? All right, so that's that. Now, just a little more about, so that's the three ways. I'm going to show you how those work here in a second. But just to give you a little update on the economy, we already know this. It's almost so obvious and apparent right now. But the economy's changed. I mean, online sales projections for 5 years from today just were hit since the last 5 months. We weren't projected to hit online retail numbers like as a global online retailing entity, like all the countries combined. Total online sales has exploded, and in the last 5 months, they exceeded what the projections are for 5 years from now, right? Why? Because COVID made an impact on that, right? But it was already headed that direction. This just fast forwarded. It sped it up. Simultaneously, retail stores are going away. So what's happening now more than ever? People are looking for a way to what? Shop from home. That's the first trend we're sitting on the front end of. But most importantly, shop from home where they can financially benefit from it. Not a one huge corporation, right? We know a couple of those companies, right? Where they make all the money, but we're not making money. All we're doing is being a customer of theirs. They're not even giving us a benefit. In fact, some of them make us pay to be their customer, to have an account with them, right? I think that's insane, but it is what it is. But retail stores are going away, rising online sales exploding. Another thing that's important is entrepreneurship's going up. How many of you realize that more and more people today, more than ever before, are looking for a way to make money from home? Looking for a way to be an entrepreneur, being a self-funded or self-fueled entrepreneur. Yeah, everybody is. So that's a third thing. More and more people are looking to own a business now more than ever before. And we have the most dynamic, real grassroots level organization that people can be a part of and work from home without giving up what they're doing. But in a year or two or three, they might be able to do as well or better with this than they were doing with their job, so they can comfortably maybe fire their boss. How many people love that thought in your mind of firing your own boss, right? Oh yeah, Caribbean speaking now. I like that. She's like, yeah, I'm in. I want to fire I'm telling you, one of the things that I like to do with my partners is when I help people earn enough money to fire their boss, we actually, the last day of work, we send a limousine to go pick them up from their job. It's one of my favorite things in the world to do. You know, it's like, hey, yeah, we're gonna listen. When you retire from your job, we're gonna send a limo in and have the limo pick you up once you retire from that gig, just to make it that much more fun for you when you decide to part ways and move onward and upward with your life, right? So it's fun. We like that. So more and more people want to be entrepreneurs because they don't want to leave their success based upon someone else's decision making, right? Corporations and stuff. But then the fourth way is one-to-one marketing is replacing mass media marketing. Here's the one thing you'll notice, and we are at the front end of this for sure. This is, I think, the biggest one. What you'll notice is online today, there's so much marketing noise. There's so much marketing going on. There's so much advertisement. Wouldn't you agree, Tina? Right? There's so much advertisement, so much. It's nonstop. We're constantly marketed to, and it's become white noise, I like to call it. It's like people just hear it, and they don't even pay attention to it anymore. See, consumers do not respond to traditional marketing anymore. In fact, last year I was at a conference in New York City, and it was with a lot of the big dogs from Google and Amazon and all these big corporations. And they said, listen to this. This is the thing that you guys it'll blow you away. Last year, only 7% of the people only 7% of consumers made buying decisions based upon ads. 7, that's it. And collectively, the global ad spend last year was $623 billion in US dollars, 620, so close to £500 billion globally, half a trillion, pounds spent on $500 billion, $623 billion, or about 500 billion pounds globally is spent on marketing and advertisement to get only 7% of the people to make a buying decision. See, where are people making buying decisions today? And I'm going to tell you where it is. 93% of people make buying decisions based upon their friends, recommendation, or influence. See, we all have something like this, don't we? A cell phone where we have access to things like social media, WhatsApp, Facebook, email, and text messaging. See, we have technology that allows people like you and I, real everyday entrepreneurs, or just people that want to be consumers, and they want to make sure we're not just marketed to, but we want to make a decision of what's best for us. So we're going to ask our friends, or we're going to listen to our friends infinitely more than we're going to listen to an advertisement or marketing piece. See, 10, 20 years ago, you had to watch ads because you didn't have the ability to talk to that many people. So ads were how people learned about product. But today, you don't need ads anymore because we can communicate better now this way than any other way we've ever been able to before through all these technology pieces. So now consumers are the real force in the marketplace. Consumers are the ones who create business. And here's what Market America and Shop.com and Market United Kingdom do. They position us to get paid for that. That's the bottom line. So that's what I'm going to show you the rest of there. One-to-one marketing. People recommending products and services is replacing mass media marketing. And companies realize that, and they're willing to make a massive shift of that $623 billion US dollars, or £500 billion, £500 billion pounds, right? Right? They're willing to shift that money into means that cause consumers to talk about and recommend their product instead of advertisement, where they only get 7% of the people that pay attention. And we are the front end of that, and we're the leading force in that whole movement, and that's what this is really all about. So what our company has, simply put, and you'll learn this later, is we have, with digital aggregation, we have completely changed the game. With digital aggregation, collective consumer influence, and a revolutionary tracking system, Shop.com captures the margins that would have been spent in advertisement, brings them back in-house, and injects them back into the compensation plan that pay people like you and I, the ones who are actually creating the business for them. And that's really what it's all about. Does that make sense? So I'm going to show you how this monetizes for you moving forward. All right, good. So that's part 2. Now, last 2 parts are going to be kind of in one and of itself, and then we're done. Part 3. Okay, part 3 is what makes this business different. The compensation plan is what makes us different. See, here's the challenge that I had when I heard about this, and I'm going to be transparent for you guys for a second. When I heard the 3 ways we make money, retail profit, that made sense to me. But I heard we can make commissions, volume-based commissions, off of our sales and team sales, boom, red flag. You know what I'm talking about? Oh man, do I have to recruit people into one of those things? That's what I was thinking, right? And then the volume of other people, right? I instantly thought one of those things. I thought pyramid, MLM, scheme. That's what I thought when I heard about this. But what makes us different is how we operate, because we're not like that. In fact, we're the solution to those things. We're not even a part of that industry. We're a solution to them. So the third part I'm going to share with you is what we're not. Because especially in the UK, a lot of you guys don't realize, but in the UK, you have a higher participation rate for people in home-based business than even America does. The participation across England and the UK is higher than the US even, of people trying home-based businesses. Why? Because people want to be able to work from home and be stay-at-home moms, stay-at-home dads, or create, be their own boss, all those type of things. But the problem is there's a lot of things out there that don't work very well because of how they're organized. The majority of the things you've heard about over there are multi-level marketing companies that don't work for the majority of people. They only work for the top people, the top couple percent, right, Paula? Right? That's really what it's all about. So what makes us different, and the first thing is I'm going to show you what we're not, because that was my hesitation. In fact, when I heard about this, it took me 4 months to even look at this, because I thought this was something I was not interested in. See, when I grew up, my dad had tried 3 different multi-level marketing, home-based business things, and they didn't work out. And it was not for lack of effort from him. It was because they're not designed for average people to win. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're designed for the top people to make all the money at the expense of the people at the bottom that get caught kind of fighting for the scraps. So horizontal marketing is what we're not. Horizontal marketing is an organizational structure that most businesses use. And with a horizontal structure, an economic incentive to help other people succeed is very limited. So examples of horizontal marketing structures are, yes, your multi-level your MLM network direct sales companies like Avon, and I could give you some examples of some of the ones that are in the UK. We have tons of them here. You have them there. Avon, you guys have Forever Living. You have Juice Plus. You have Tropics. You have a bunch of different companies like that, right? Unique. There's a bunch of different companies, right? They're home-based business. Yes, they're horizontal marketing structures. And this is what we're not. But you've heard about these things. But they're not the only ones that are horizontal marketing structures. They're just the ones you know about being horizontal. But this is other type of companies that are also horizontal structures. You just never seen it explained this way. Franchises are all horizontal marketing structures. So are chain stores like Tesco. Every single insurance company is a horizontal marketing structure. And every single estate agent, like we call them real estate in the US, but estate agents are all horizontal marketing structures. And here's how they work. I'll explain to you how they work, and I'll show you what makes us different. So again, these guys down here, these home-based business direct sales companies, they're the ones who get the black eye or bad name for it, but they're not the only ones who use the model. All these type of structured organizations use the same model. So here's how they work. Just give you from a high level perspective, right? Whoever starts the company, I'm going to use the estate agency or real estate for this example, okay? Because I want you guys to really understand this. This is the reason why we are positioned so well to change the game in the UK, because we have fixed all these problems in the market there, okay? So first thing is but I'm going to use real estate for this example because I think real estate's a very honorable professional, and they use the same model that every single multi-level marketing company uses. You just don't realize they do it. So there's somebody at the top. So that would be the owner of the estate broker or estate agency. We call them real estate brokers in America. I think you call them estate agents, right? They're at the top. They own the company, okay? And they're at the top. Now, when they make a sale for a piece of property, since they own the company and they're the estate agent, they're at the top, they make 100% of the commission. Why? Because they own it. They don't have to split it with anybody, right? So they're going to go out and sell as many properties, pieces of real estate as they possibly can, right? Because they're making money off all that. Now, what will happen for a good estate agent, though, is they're going to run out of one thing that they can't get any more of, and that's time. Wouldn't you agree? There's only so many houses one person can sell, so many properties one person can sell. There's only so many products one person can sell in a multi-level marketing company, right? There's only so much insurance somebody can sell in the insurance business, right? So if they want, and they're at the top, they're making 100% of their commission because they own it. But if they want to be able to make more money, they don't have any more time. So what they have to do is go out and hire agents underneath of them within their structure. In any of these businesses, whether they're MLM, insurance, franchises, estate agents, it doesn't matter. They have to hire more people. Now, when those people come on underneath of them and they make sales, they don't earn 100%, do they? They earn a percentage. Typically in real estate, they'll make a split. They'll have a commission split. They get 50% and the estate agent, the broker, the one at the top earns the rest, the other half. So now these people here come underneath, and this estate agent here hires his agents underneath of him, but they go on his front line, or what I like to call horizontally connected with each other. Now, I think what's important for you guys to understand here is when this estate agent recruits his real estate agents that come in, he's going to go as wide as he can because he's making half of the commission that they make is getting paid to him or her. So they're going to, how wide do you think a team that estate agents want to have? How many people? As many as possible. Because every single one that falls underneath their hierarchy, they get paid their commission split. But here's the first downside of this structure. This is the first downside of MLM, insurance, real estate. This is the downside of these things. It makes it hard to be successful. It makes it very competitive. The more people that come in underneath the estate agent, the more money the estate agent's making, of course, but all these people don't have any vested interest with each other. They're competing with each other, aren't they? So that means it becomes harder for those people to come in. So Gina, if you came in and Heather came in and I was the person at the top and Gina and Heather, you were here, you guys would be competing for the marketplace. So let's just say Paul wants to sell his house, but Heather and Gina, you guys are both the estate agents, right? And you both know Paul, which one gets the sale? Maybe one of you. So now you're competing with each other to get the sale because you don't have a vested interest with each other. The only person who gets paid if you guys individually is the guy at the top, but you guys are competing with each other underneath. That's one of the challenges of this model. And this is how every single structured model I've ever seen works. Now, in some models, they let this keep continuing and go deeper, but the percentage even gets smaller. So now all of a sudden, the deeper you go, percentage and levels kick in. People are struggling at the bottom because they're making less and less percentage. The person at the top is making all the money at the expense of the people that are getting paid in lesser and lesser percentages as this thing grows. And the problem also is it gets wider and wider and wider. And the wider the team gets, the more internal competition is created and the less synergy there is. So the downsides of this model is it creates a ton of competition. Everybody underneath is competing, so the people at the top make all the money. You're always paid in percentages and levels. It's always from the top down in percentages and levels. It's incredible how that happens, and it's so frustrating for people that come in later. That's the second. Third thing is they always give you time periods to hit bonuses, don't they? Anything I've ever seen out there that gets paid on volume, you have to do a certain period of time. Usually it's either 2 weeks or every month. And if you don't hit enough volume within a certain period of time, guess what they do with your volume? Tina, better luck next month. Starts all over again, and all you do is are frustrated. But the people at the top made money, but you didn't, because you didn't do enough volume within the 30-day period that it took to make it. And the last part is you're always pigeonholed typically to one product or industry. So if something happens in that industry, you're susceptible to market swings. So what J.R. Reininger did, the CEO of this company that built this company, it started 28 years ago, but he started building it 36 years ago. He took 8 years to design a model that he looked at this structure that you're looking at on the screen. And he said, there's a lot of downsides here. I want to create a model that keeps all the benefits of being working from home, like working for yourself, part-time, flexible hours, create some leverage, don't have to give what you're currently doing. I want to give you all the benefits of working from home, but I want to design something that eliminates all these downsides. And he did. And it's called vertical marketing. Vertical marketing is an organizational structure that was created, and it provides an environment where there's an economic synergy between the people participating throughout the enterprise. What happens when we build teams is he eliminated all the downsides that you saw in the horizontal marketing structure, but kept all the benefits and created a model that is a complete revolutionary game changer when it comes down to this industry. And this is what he did. He created a model of vertical organization structure. When everybody comes into the business now, we are put in verticals, right, Sharon? People get put in vertical structures. So instead of us putting everybody, Gina and Heather and Paul and Paula and Stella, instead of us putting everybody horizontally in competition with each other, when we build our organization as business, we have 2 teams and they get stacked in verticals. Everybody that comes in gets put down in our 2 verticals, working together with a bunch of people that are stacked in business with each other instead of horizontally competing with people. Now, what makes this so unique is all the business that we do, instead of paying volume from the top down in percentages and levels, so we all get stacked in verticals, but it also pays 100% credit for all the volume from the bottom to the top. So instead of tiers and levels from the top to the bottom, and everybody competes horizontally, everybody works together vertically, and all the volume we do collectively pays 100% bottom up instead of percentage levels from the top down. Now, that's a concept slide. I'm going to explain to you how that works, but just keep those 2 things in the back of your mind. That changes everything in the way the people respond and function to where we build the business. So the advantage of this model is it eliminates all the pitfalls of competition. I'm going to show you these numbers in a second. It'll make sense. It encourages collaboration and synergy. We do not get paid in percentages on levels. Everybody gets 100% credit for the volume generated to infinity. They don't give us any time limits. We get paid when our volume hits threshold. So it's never if we get paid, it's only a matter of when. Paul, how do you like that? Right? It's never if we get paid, it's only a matter of when. So Gina, it doesn't matter how fast or slow your business generates volume. When you hit increments that'll pay you a bonus, boom, you get that bonus. The smallest bonus check, by the way, that you can get from the company is 230 pounds. Smallest one you can get. How many of you agree that every little extra 230 pounds helps? Every time. I'll keep them coming, right? Every single one helps. So that's that. And we have multiple industries, so you're not pigeonholed to one market. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the numbers. Now, I will tell you that you don't have to understand all the math and all the logic. I just talked to you a lot about the logic, okay? And if you got it, like the concept behind it, that's great. If you didn't get it, that's okay. As long as you get the math, you're good. And by the way, if you did get all that logic, even if you don't get all the math, that's enough too. You don't need to understand both. You just have to get one of them. And different people's brains work differently, and they really get attracted to one or the other. But nonetheless, I'm going to show you the numbers because this is what I needed to see, okay? And over the last 10 or 15 minutes here, I'm going to get through the numbers and wrap this up, okay? And we'll go through that again. And the reason why I'm doing this because this is what I show the first time for people, and I want people to see everything they need to, and then come back and see it again and again, and it makes all the parts come together, and it makes it just perfectly mold as you wrap your brain around this. All right. So last part is how the money is paid to you for building an unfranchised. There are 5 steps to do this, okay? So you saw the history of the company. You saw the 3 ways at a high level of how we earn. You saw what we're not, but now I'm going to show you how we get paid, how this converts to pounds, hundreds of pounds that go into your bank account, potentially thousands of pounds every single week on Friday that get direct deposited into your bank account by building this unfranchised. 5 steps to build this business. Step 1 is you apply with the company. Step 2 is create. Step 3 is qualify. 4 is activate. 5 is repeat. Okay, so we're going to talk about each one. So step 1 is you apply with the company. Now, there is an application fee to get started of 75 pounds. That 75 pounds gets you set up with all kinds of technology. in the system, an Unfranchise Owner magazine, a training and seminar system, an audio. So less than 100 pounds, you guys get set up with a business that can earn you hundreds of thousands of pounds a year. Okay. 75 pounds. This actually shares and shows, the most important thing it does is it shows your independent status with the company as well, because you're an independent unfranchise owner here. Okay. So you have that. We have an audio and training series that you can plug into. We have a training and seminar system, right? You guys are on one of them right now. Like we have virtual stuff, 4 or 5 a week that we have available through this calendar. And then every month and a half, we have a Saturday larger 5 or so hour training that really pulls the layers back and teaches people what to do. So we have an entire training system in place, so where it's a plug and play model where you can just get started and learn everything you need to make this successful, even if you have zero experience at all. You could be successful with this because of the way it's a turnkey process. We have an audio training series as well at unfranchise.com back office. It gives you all the management reports you need, so you don't have to hire anybody. It tracks everything for you. You get your own websites, not only your own shop.com site, but you also get your own global.shop.com site. We have close to 200 countries that people can buy off of your global site, all for 75 pounds, guys, one time. And there is a 57 pound a year renewal, by the way, just so you know. And you get coaching and mentoring from people who know what they're doing. I mean, you know, what's neat about all of you on here, between Paul and and all of you guys have $1 million earners from this company that are willing to teach you exactly how to do it, between Sharon and myself and Bonnie Philo and Andrew West, all kinds of $1 million earners in America that will teach you how to become the £1 million earners in the UK, because we all have a vested interest, because we're stacked together. We're doing this synergistically, and that market needs it. I'm telling you guys, this will be a complete game changer for that market, because this is something that is needed for people who want to work from home. They want the solution, and we have it. So that's step 1. We get started into business. Step 2 is we create these BV, business volume points, or these IBV, or internet business volume points. Now, here's the thing. I already can explain what these were. Remember, I was explaining to you how we have this product here. It has a retail margin and then a marketing margin. The marketing margin is what BV is. Does that make sense? So the money that would have been spent on advertisement is giving a point value. So as Samira said, this wholesale price of this product is 42 pounds, but we get 44 business volume points for this product. And that's what accumulates towards commission checks, not only when I sell it and not only when I buy it for myself, but when my entire vertical team sells it and buys it for themselves infinitely. And I'll show you how that works. Crazy thing, never been done before in the history of business, and we do it, okay? So that's what BVR. Now, every one of our exclusive products has that, and you'll learn more about our cosmetics and skincare with the person who invited you here. But IBV is the same thing. That's the margins that we get paid from what? All those partner stores, right? They normally would pay that toward advertising, but now they're willing to reallocate some of those margins back to pay us, and we get IBV for that. So that's marketing margins that would have been paid out by those stores like Topshop and M&S, Marks Spencer's and John Lewis and all these different, and B&Q, and all of them. We get commission paid on those, right? So that's good. B&O. Oh, they're gonna never let me forget that. So anyway. So crazy. So how do we create BV and IBV? And by the way, that's a smaller margin. So since we're the exclusive provider of the exclusive products, it's high, up to 100% points or better. Whereas on a partner store, it might be 5 to 20% IBV. A little less because we're not the only marketing arm. We're one of many. So it's a little less. But so what? How many of you are happy that every time that from this point on, if you decide to partner with the company, whenever you buy from B&Q or Topshop or whatever, you buy from those stores, you're going to get paid to do it. Isn't that awesome? I mean, that's just like crazy to me. So how do we create BV and IBV? Number 1, personal use and shopping. Number 2, customers, sales and shopping. And number 3, what? Your team buying for themselves and their shopping. So that's how we create these BV. And they accrue towards bonus checks. And remember, that's separate from the instant retail that you make when you sell the product yourself. Completely separate, okay? So that's step 2. You create volume by figuring out what you want to buy and try. Step 3 is to qualify your business. It's a once-in-a-lifetime qualification of 200 BV, 200 business volume points, which opens your left and right BV banks. Right here, you can see that have these points. Now, BV and IBV banks, I'm sorry. The blue here, that's the BV points. That's the points that come from our exclusive products. The green here, that's IBV points. That's the points that come from all the partner stores. Okay? So we qualify our business once in a lifetime at 200 BV. Now, normally that would be about 220 pounds, give or take. I mean, OPC would be a little less, right? But the company makes it really, really neat. They allow people to get started, inclusive of the 75 pounds. They create there's 3 different Fast Start kits that are available in the UK. You have our top sellers Fast Start kit for nutritionals. You have our top sellers in the cosmetics, and then you have the web solutions one. We have 3 different Fast Start kits, Fast Start programs. And they're 199 pounds, including VAT and free shipping. So for under 200 pounds, people get started and they do step 1, 2, and 3 the day they begin. Right? Less than 200 pounds, you're established with your solid, strong, unfranchised business. By the way, you get more than 200 pounds worth of stuff or product when that happens automatically. So, you know, when you really look at it, the cost is, you're in a really good spot. You know, you're in a really good spot moving forward, and that works out really, really well. So that's what most people do. And that, when you do that Fast Start program, that accomplishes the first, step 1, apply, step 2, create, step 3, qualify, boom, just with the purchase of a kit. So it makes it really turnkey and easy. So that's what most people do, less than 200 pounds. Now, this is where the rubber meets the road, and this is where we build their network, and I'll show you how it converts to income and wrap this thing up. We're going to activate our business now. So we applied, created, and qualified. Typically, most people buy the Fast Start kit because it's very economical, right? But, and there's a ton of value in it. You get way more than you're paying, right? Now, what's neat about this is step 4 is to activate. You're going to activate your business, right, by placing personally sponsoring or bringing into the business 2 partners. You're going to put 1 person on your left and 1 person on your right. This is where the residual income from the BV come from. Remember, when you're selling a product, you're making a retail profit instantly. No matter if you participate in building a team or not, you're making all that retail. But if you want to create the ongoing huge residual income, you're going to build an organization too. You're going to start introducing people to the business through the products or the business plan, depending on, you know, how you want to do it, right? Everybody has their own different way of doing it. But here's the neat thing. I'm going to find 2 partners. I'm going to put Mark on my left. I'm going to put Kate on my right. This is just giving us some life. This is the examples, Mark and Kate. This activates my business. Now, once I'm activated, I'm eligible to earn on all the BV points, the marketing margin points that are coming into my business from people that may be coming in underneath of me from people above, because they only have a left and right side. So if people are bringing in people, where do they have to put them? In business with everybody, not horizontally competing with each other. We only have a left and right side, so we have to keep on putting people under the existing people and not making them compete with each other. Completely different strategy here, and it works out really well. Now, step 5 is just to teach and manage and repeat. So when I look at this slide, this is the whole business plan in a nutshell. Don't make it any harder than this. All the stuff we talked about so far for the first 55 minutes or so, we're going to wrap up the next 5, is right here. Everything we did, this is how simple it is. So this is you. This is the whole business plan. Ready? I'm going to keep this in a nutshell. This is you. You buy everything from yourself because you're getting it wholesale instead of retail and getting BV points for it, which will gain customers for you by sharing your experience. That's number 1. Number 2, you find 2 people who want to do the same thing. That's our whole business plan. All this stuff we talked about is what fuels that business plan. So I find Mark and Kate. So guess what Mark and Kate's job is to do? Heather, repeat. That's all it is. So Mark and Kate are going to do what? They're going to buy everything from themselves, apply, create, and qualify, and then they're going to get some customers and then find 2 people for themselves. And all this is going to do is repeat and repeat, and 2 leads to 4, 8, 16. You get the idea. It just compounds. And people lead to people because everybody can buy from themselves and gain a few customers and then find 2 partners. And we're just going to repeat that process over and over and over again. So I brought on Mark and Kate, then Mark and Kate brings on Megan, Sarah, Rick, Kate, and then Megan brings on Chris. And as you understand, it won't be perfect world. It won't be 2, 4, 8, but people lead to people. You might know a 3rd person. Watch what happens here. Remember, I said we don't have a left and right side. I brought in Mark and Kate, the shaded people here. But what if I knew Matt? I have to put Matt under my team. Now, Mark, Megan, and Chris, they didn't know Matt. I knew Matt. But I put Matt in their business because I only have a left and right side. But guess what all Matt's volume does, guys? It flows up 100%. It credits Matt. But Chris gets all of it. Meg gets all of it. Mark gets all of it. And so do you. So let's just say Matt did 200 points for himself. Bought a couple OPCs, 4 or 5 OPCs for him and his customer. He's the only one who makes a retail profit, Matt makes. But all those points that Matt generated, all 200 points Matt gets, then Chris gets 200 points, then Megan gets 200 points, and her banks, and Mark gets 200 points, and then you get 200 points. It's a 100% infinite search and accrual to everybody. No percentages, no levels, no tiers. Complete game changer, guys. Now, you might know a fourth person. You would put them on maybe your right side, Erica. See, you won't stop it, too. But let me tell you what's cool, because when it starts, how many of you realize that once it starts working, the friends that are skeptical are going to want to come back and see it again once they see you're making 230-pound and 460-pound checks every week or more. You know what I mean? You can't stop it from happening. So people lead to people, and it becomes extremely exciting, and it works out really, really well. So last part is this. Don't forget that your senior partners, it could be me. It could be Sharon, right? It could be Samira. It could be Carmen. We all have a left and right. So when we bring people, guess where they have to go? Under our left or under our right. They could be American. They could be British. They could be Australian. But guess what? You get 100% credit, even though someone above you put them below you. How many of you like that idea? Isn't that cool? It's a synergy that is incredible, right? This is how you get paid on this, and then we're done. So what happens is a system tracks purchases and sales made by you, your customers, but also your team and their customers and their team and their customers to infinity. To infinity, as far as this goes. Whoever makes a sale gets a retail, but all those BV margins, those business volume points, credit 100% credit to everybody that's connected from the bottom to the top. And it's only a matter of time till you're hitting thresholds of commissions. And this is how they pay you on it. The first threshold they're looking for is 1,200 points that have accumulated on both your left and your right side. Now, remember, this is separate from the retail profit. All the retail you make instantly when you sell it. But this is the points, and then we're done. You hit 1,200 points on your left and right side. The first bonus check you'll earn, separate from your retail, it's a separate check from your retail, is 230 pounds. That was only a few months ago that it used to be 170 pounds. The company got so excited on what's happening in the UK and how we've had things going, and they wanted to and they knew what the possibilities were. They incentivized. They boosted that first check from 170 to 230 pounds. Right, Sam? That's what it's all about. And it's just an exciting thing. So now you're talking about a huge, that's well in a 30+% increase to incentivize the market to keep going, right? Really neat. So when that happens, you get your first check. I got that in 3 weeks. My first week, I only had 300 points and 900 points come up. I was doing this part-time in construction, separate from construction too, by the way. So, but the second week I had a little more volume. Now I did make my retail, but I didn't earn a bonus until at the end of my third week that I accumulated from those 3 weeks, accumulative. When I went over 1,200, they sent me my first 230 pounds, or in America, $300, right? And that's all mine. I don't have to pay anybody out of it, and I'm happy, right? And the volume keeps accruing. The next threshold is another 1,200 points for a total of 2,400. Not a new 2,400, an additional 1,200 on top of the 12 I already had. And when I hit another 1,200 on the left and right side, I get another 230 pounds. Now, what's neat about this is I maybe brought in Mark and Kate. But don't forget, Mark and Kate aren't going to stop. Mark's going to lead to Megan. Megan's going to lead to Chris. You understand? Kate will lead to Ann and Ben. And I'm getting what percentage of the volume? All of it, 100%. How far? Infinitely. No percentage left. This is complete different than anything else out there. Again, for the 5th time I say that, sorry, but I just want you guys to get it, right? All those points flow up, and you hit 2,400, and it's another 230 pounds. Keeps on accruing. More people come on board. People get customers. Somebody brings on a health professional like Sharon that is offering these products to their patients. All the points are flowing up. Another 1,200 points, boom, another 230-pound check. The final threshold is when you do 5,000 points on your left and 5,000 points on your right. That's 1,400 more points, but they double the check from 230 pounds now to 460 pounds. So when you go from 0 and 0 to 5,000 pounds, I'm sorry, 0 and 0 to 5,000 points on both your left and right side, you've earned a collective total of 230, 230, 230, or 460, or a total of 1,150 pounds, and you went through one cycle. Now, guys, it took me 3 months and 2 weeks to do that the first time, starting by myself while I ran a construction company. That was a little, for me, whatever that is, what's that? 354, just about 400 pounds a month. How many of you agree that every little 400 pound a month helps? And I did this part-time running a construction company, but watch this. At that time and that time only, not at any given time period, but at that time and that time only, for me, it was 3.5 months in. They said, great job. You've earned all those checks. Now the volume resets and starts all over again. So this volume goes back to 0 and starts all over again. But guess what? When I started the first time I was alone, it was just me. Now, 3 months later, I had a handful of people on my left. I think I had 6 people on this side and 8 people on this side. I brought 4 of them, but people led to people, and I was still getting 100% credit. So now the second time I went through it was only 6 weeks. See, what happens is as this grows, people lead to people, you're getting 100% credit for all the volume. Eventually, what happens is it's going to happen faster and faster until eventually you have 5,000 points up your left and right side every single week, which is paying you all 4 of those checks every single week at 1,150 pounds. That's over 50,000 pounds, close to 60,000 pounds a year, by just having 2 teams that collectively do 5,000 BV that you get credit for infinitely up your left and right side. How many of you agree that would be a life changer for anybody across the UK? And as you see, how many of you love the idea that it's only a matter of time till enough people show up to where you're getting it and you're all earning from it? It's not just one, it's all of you. Man, if you're getting this, you're going to lose sleep tonight. And if you can't sleep tonight and you're up really, really late, you can call Sharon Lawrence at 077. No, I'm just kidding. She loves late night calls. She loves it. She absolutely loves it. So anyway, Samira's up late all the time. We're always chatting late at night. So anyway, don't forget about your IBV though. So the BV points, that's our exclusive products. Don't forget the green, that's the IBV. IBV works the same way BV does, ladies and gentlemen. So when you're accumulating from B&Q and our shopping new brand and John Lewis and Iceland and all these things, you're accruing these IBV points, not only what you do, but what your team does, and you're earning additional check. Now, what's neat about that is we got this also set to where you actually start getting paid even sooner. When you create 300 IBV on your left and right side, you get a 50-pound check. When you hit 600 points on your left and right side, you get a 65-pound check. When you hit 1,200 points on your left and right side, you get 150. So they take that first 230 and they split it up 3 ways to help people earn on IBV a little bit quicker, right? Something really neat that they just decided to start to do a few months ago to help people earn on IBV. And then it goes, 230, 230, 460, right? That first 1,200 points, they put it in 3 different checks to help you earn on IBV at the exact same time. But it's still, when you go through 5,000 IBV, that's an additional 1,150 pounds. And eventually, as your team grows, you're going to have over 5,000 IBV a week up your left and right side. When you put those 2 things together, that means that top center, when you have enough people on your left and right side that you get 100% credit from doing BV and IBV, you're at 2,300 pounds per week, over 100,000 pounds a year. 2 teams that just buy for themselves, get some customers, and repeat that process. That's a complete game changer. And that's what makes anybody can do it with 2 teams. And we'll teach you how, and we'll work with you and teach you how to do it. So as your organization expands, this will happen. The frequency of this will happen until eventually it's happening every single week, because it's only a matter of time till enough people show up or a couple of the right people show up and you're over those 5,000 points in IBV and BV every single week. 2,300 pounds. They do have a bonus, and then I'm done. Whenever they see that you hit the final 5,000 in BV alone, just the BV, not IBV, just BV alone, and one person on your left and one person on your right hits that final 5,000 the same week you do. Doesn't matter who it is, Mark, Megan, Travis, someone on your left, someone on your right, the same week that you hit the final 5,000 points, right? And you earn that final 460-pound check. As long as one person on both sides did it, one on the left, one on the right, you're going to earn an additional bonus check of 460 pounds on top of the 2,300, which takes you to 2,760 pounds per week per center. And that's how much that center can earn. That's the most that center can earn. You know, additionally, you could do retail profit, but that's the most that center can earn. And by the way, that's financially how this is economically possible. You know, when people see this, how can this company pay 100% credit to everybody? Because you can only make up to 2,760 pounds per week per business. But let me just tell you something. I don't have time to get into it, but talk to the person who invited you. You can own as many of these businesses as you want. I have 16 of them, 15 of them. I don't know, 15 or 16. Each one can do up to 2,760 pounds a week. But the neat thing about them is that they have to go underneath your existing team, right? I'll just right here. See how this goes under? Any more centers and above your top. You get to start with 3, by the way, which the person who invited you can explain. But when you bring in more, you put in your 4th, your 5th. They all go under your team. So now people are working together and you're not competing with them. So if you want to make more money than your top center can earn, you have to go under them and restart. So now you're below the people who used to be below you. Don't worry about getting that because that's very advanced. But I just want to share with you, this doesn't end and we keep on going. And you have a chance to have people like Sharon, myself, Samira, you know, Bonnie Philo, all these different top leaders. You have a chance to have them in your team, underneath of you, not just above you, but also where? Underneath of you. And talk about locking things in. You'll learn that next couple times, but just understand it's a model that's like nothing in the world. So that's pretty much the size of it. I want to thank you for your evaluation. I want to ask you guys a couple questions real quick before we wrap up, if you don't mind. But I'm going to ask you what did you find was most unique about the business? The first question. I'm also going to ask you, does anybody come to mind that may be a fit for us? This may be for you or maybe someone you know. I want to know who you know that could be looking for something like this. The last thing I'm going to ask you, if you see anything here worth looking further into for yourself or maybe someone you know, right? And that's that. So I thank you for being on. Whoops. This is